Time for your ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
A cold finish to the week on this Friday here in central and eastern Kentucky. We had that reinforcing shot of chilly air behind that departing boundary. So most locations didn't even make it back to the freezing mark for afternoon highs. But as we've been telling you all week long, Saturday looks great. Sunshine, highs in the low 40s. So a little cabin fever from all the snow, ice, and cold of late. Make sure and get out and get some fresh air. Overall, things look pretty good. Temperatures at or above average through the mid part of next week. Some colder air may try to sneak back in later next week, but it is not going to be frigid, anything like what we had a little bit earlier in the week. Now that boundary moved east, but we had some leftover energy, low-level moisture, and with a west wind bumping into the mountains of southeastern Kentucky, several locations across the south and southeast with some light snow showers earlier in the day. A few left over in the mountains there, and of course those areas that don't catch much, if any, sunlight, some of the sheltered valleys that saw a little bit of accumulation, a slick spot or two possible in that area overnight. Skies have cleared the rest of the area, downtown Mount Sterling and Montgomery County now down to 25. So with clear skies, light winds, and the sun setting here within the next few minutes officially, we're going to begin to back temperatures down. Still a little bit of cloudiness up on the hilltop there near Hyman and Knott County, where we're at 27. It was overcast much of the day, and temperatures beginning to settle back a few degrees, mid to upper 20s here in the Bluegrass, upper 20s to around 30 down to our south compared to 24 hours ago, anywhere between 5 to 10 degrees cooler. But you have to think back a couple of days with the bitterly cold air we had. Now it's colder along the I-70 corridor from Indy over to Columbus, upper teens already. We've got high pressure that's going to at least take control for a day. See this boundary off to the northwest. That'll sneak in here on Sunday. Very little fanfare with that. So this evening, no issues. Dress accordingly because it will be cold. Temperatures will settle down into the mid-teens around midnight, and with that steady south wind overnight at 5 to 10, we're going to rise up to around 20 at daybreak, and then once the sun comes up and winds pick up out of the southwest at 10 to 15, that's where we're headed, into the low and mid 40s. So again, it's going to feel really nice out there. And look at the consistent 40s, something that we have not seen for a while. I mentioned the frontal boundary dropping in for the day on Sunday, a dry front, so a little bit of cloudiness, maybe knocking temperatures back a couple of degrees. The one thing to watch for, and we've alluded to it much of the week, the front may check up a little energy to our south, so say along the Howell Rogers Parkway and Kentucky 80 corridor south. You may see a rain or snow shower Sunday night. The rest of this really kind of gets suppressed to the south, so we'll be in good shape in that regard. That's why we've got the low end, little 20% chance, and again, that's just a small portion of the viewing area down south. So looking ahead, temperatures are going to be in pretty good shape, especially Tuesday, Wednesday. How about mid 40s? And then I mentioned that trough digging out through the mid-Atlantic, and that may work back to the west enough to knock temperatures back. And that trough digging out here in the eastern U.S., that's going to be relevant toward next weekend as we welcome February, yes, a week from Saturday, as this cutoff low ejects, as we like to call it, eastward. Depending on where this jet stream is located, that's going to be a big determining factor of whether we see mainly a rain event or we could be in store for a little more wintry weather. So obviously something we'll keep an eye on between now and then. Mostly clear, mid-teens around midnight or so, and then slowly rising temperatures. And tomorrow afternoon, breezy, milder, mostly sunny. Best day we've had probably in a while. 42 the high in the extended forecast. Again, that little bump in the road down south late Sunday into early Monday. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape here with afternoon highs rolling through the mid part of next week and closing out January next week, generally into the 40s.